guys, and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, we are going to be doing a stink bug care video. Now I know this is kind of silly, but whenever I introduced Boris to you guys and his new little friend, you guys asked me to do a stink bug care video, basically just telling you how I kept him alive in case you guys find them in your house. I got a lot of messages from you guys saying that you guys find them in your house all the time and that you just toss them outside. However, if it is too cold to put your little Boris outside, then maybe this care video will be helpful to you and you will know how you can keep it alive, maybe for just a day or two until the temperatures warm back up if you're worried that your little Boris won't make it in the cold. So as you guys know, I introduced Boris to you guys about a month ago. I've had him over a month and then I found his friend a couple weeks ago and they've been doing really well. I never did name his friend and it is getting warmer outside, so I will be letting them go very, very soon. So I thought that I would film a care video for you guys because you asked me to, and I think it's just a silly, fun care video to do, so that's what we're going to be talking about today. So the first part to caring for any animal, even if it's just a bug, is to go online and do your research. So the first day that I found Boris, I went online just to find out what I could feed him to keep him alive, because that is the biggest part of keeping anything alive, is what they eat, and then of course what kind of enclosure, or in this case jar, that you want to keep them in. So I went online and I found out that skunk bugs So I went online and I researched stink bugs and I found that they love to eat fruits and berries and vegetables. So that was easy. I have tons and tons of fruits and veggies in my house, so that wasn't going to be a problem at all. And then I had to decide what I wanted to keep him in. We buy a lot of mason jars. So this was a extra large mason jar that I just happened to already have, and I already had lids as well, so that wasn't an issue. I didn't have to go buy this special or anything like that. I know a lot of you guys kept messaging me and asking me if I was going to upgrade his enclosure, but I didn't plan on having him very long. So the jar is perfectly fine for the few weeks that I've had him. Now, if you don't have a mason jar with a lid, which actually worked really well because I could see him and it's really easy to poke holes in the really thin metal top. This worked really well for my stink bugs, but any type of a container that's big enough with some sort of a lid that you can poke holes in will work. So the next thing that I did is I went outside and I just gathered a few sticks, you know, just to put in there, because stink bugs do love to climb. Stink bugs are just like any other bug. They can kind of climb up anything. They also can fly, so you do have to be careful with that. You could put more sticks or less sticks. I put 2 in my enclosure just because I felt like that was pretty good for them to just climb up. And of course at the time I only had one little stink bug and he loves that stick. He's constantly resting on it and climbing up the side of the jar, so that was a good idea. You can obviously put in more foliage if you want, but I wanted to be able to see him really well and make sure he was okay. Now the next thing I want to do is put some substrate. I went with a little bit of Eco Earth since I have that on hand pretty regularly for Koa and my Pac-Man frog. But if you didn't want to substrate at all, or you just want to put a little piece of paper towel, I'm sure that would work too, but I went with Eco Earth just so it was a little bit more natural for him. I found that my stink bugs do not go on the bottom of the jar very much. They do like to be up and high and climbing because they are flying bugs. So once I had my jar or your enclosure and then your foliage, in my case a stick, and then I had my substrate and I had my fruits and veggies, you just have to go and assemble the jar. So after I had everything I needed for my bugs enclosure, I just put the Eco Earth in there first, and then I added any foliage, which was my stick, and then I added a couple of berries for his fruit. Then after you put your stink bug in there, make sure that you seal it really well with plenty of holes so they can breathe. One good thing about bugs in general is that you don't have to worry about providing them a water source. A lot of times they would drown in a water source anyway, so they get plenty of liquids and water from the fruits that they're eating, so you don't have to worry about that. And that was pretty much it. I have had Boris in his little jar here for about 4 or 5 weeks now with his little friend. So as far as my daily routine goes, every day I open up the lid, make sure that he doesn't climb out or fly out, and then I go in and I take out the old berries from the day before, and then I add in some new berries or some new veggies. I swapped strawberries, blueberries, bell peppers, and romaine lettuce out, and I alternated those, and I gave him 2 choices every day, and I would just swap up the choices day to day. I would see them climbing on them and eating them every single day. They really love the strawberries, so I highly recommend strawberries if you have them. That worked great for them and they absolutely loved them. And that's pretty much how I kept them alive for the past month. They're really easy. Obviously they're just little bugs, still fun to have, and I'm glad that I got to show them to you guys. That is pretty much it for this stink bug care video. I hope that you guys enjoyed watching this. I hope you guys have enjoyed seeing little Boris and being a part of his little bug life. I'm gonna be super sad to let them go, but the weather is turning around. It's been really, really rainy this week, but it has been warmer, so I think that next week will probably be a really good week to let them go. I'm gonna be so sad to do that, but I know that he'll be much happier outside than being kept in a jar every day, even though he has been eating really, really well. But don't worry, I will be filming that for you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this little stink bug care video. If you guys didn't already follow me on Instagram, Snapchat, or Twitter, I'll put that on the screen for you guys. I will see you guys in my next video. Be kind. Bye.